Hey everyone, welcome to the third video in my series on my winter favourites. This one is eyeshadow palettes, because I actually think eyeshadow palettes are nearly more, I think they're better value for money than going in and just buying individual ones or little trios, because I think they can nearly cost you as much in the long run. So I'm just going through a few palettes that I really like and the individual colours in them that I really like for winter time. I'm going to start with high end first again. Now again, there's only two because I'm not big into high end. So the first one everyone knows about, so I'm going to get out of the way, and everyone probably already has it as well, and it's the Naked palette. So I'm just wiping swatches off from my blusher so I can swatch them for you. And the Illamasqua blusher is finding it hard to come off. That's a good sign. Yeah, so the first one then is the Naked palette, and that there is what it looks like, if you haven't seen it 1,000,001 times already. And then for the winter months, now during the summer I probably used from here to here during the summer. For the winter I'm using maybe this one, and then from like there to there. My favourite colours for the winter are Sidecar, Dark Horse, Hustle, Creep and Gunmetal. Try to remember which is which. This is Sidecar, this is Dark Horse, that's Hustle, that is Gunmetal, and that's Creep. I'll just show you them swatched really quickly. So this is Sidecar. That's Sidecar. Dark Horse. Hustle. Creep. It's not the most pigmented black in the world, but, and that one there is Gunmetal. So they're kind of the darker shades that I would use during the winter. But that's the great thing about the Naked palette. You can wear all year round. You've got your summer colours and you've got your winter colours, so it's pretty versatile. The next one then is the, and I don't know if this probably isn't even still available, but they bring out something like this around Christmas every year. So this one is the Urban Decay Book of Shadows Volume 2. I got this for a present for Christmas. I also got my Naked palette for a present, so I'm not one for spending on high-end things really, but I do like getting them for presents. And they're all the shades in them. Now for the winter months I would use Mushroom, AC/DC and Misdemeanor. So it's Mushroom, AC/DC and Misdemeanor. I'll just show you them in the pan. That's Mushroom. That one is AC/DC. You can see that. And then, no, it's this green. Misdemeanor. I'll just swatch them for you as well. That was the palette. That is Mushroom. AC/DC. Look, it's so pretty. And Misdemeanor. They're three gorgeous colours for winter in that palette. And there's loads of the other browns and neutrals you could use for the winter as well. The next one then, after that, they're the only two kind of expensive palettes that I have really. Yeah. The next two then are from the same brand as well. And they're from MUA. And the first one is their Starry Nights palette. Starry Night. That's from their Pro range, that one there. And their pans look like that. And this one just has a lovely variety for winter because they're all slightly dark, apart from the two pinks. But again, like all MUA shadows, they're very, very pigmented. Yeah. So just watch them in my hands. But these are lovely for making I like to do smoky eye nearly every day, so you can't get away with black smoky eyes for work or extremely dark. So this just gives you an option to kind of, like, that would be a lovely navy one maybe. So yeah, extremely pigmented. So easy to work with. MU eyeshadows are just so easy to work with. They're like butter. They're amazing. How they can do it for the price they do it for, it's beyond me. The next one then again is another one of their pro palettes. This one's in Heaven and Earth. I don't have this one that long, so it's not got as much use, but there's some beautiful colours in it as well for winter, especially if you're into neutrals. So that's it there, and it's a great alternative to the Naked palette because they give some beautiful colours in there. So the colours I really like are, by the way, in the Starry Nights palette, I like them all, so there's no point in nitpicking, but I really like this highlight and this shade here. And the other thing I want to say about these is the first day I used this one. Now I've used the blue one a few times, but I would have used it say on Saturdays or Sundays to do kind of darker eyes and that. So it wouldn't be going through the full test, you know. So I wore this to work the other day, and I wore these two colours actually exactly. And coming home from work, my eyeshadow was still perfect. Now normally by the end of the day my eyeshadow's gone a bit dodgy, you know. Even with primers or paint pots or whatever you want to put under them, this stuck like glue. My eyeshadow still looked perfect when I got home. Yeah, so just watch these two colours for you. But that's such a pretty highlight. I'm sure I may as well do a third one. Even it up. Go with this goldy colour here. So there are the swatches from like the Heaven and Earth palette. They're just really pigmented. Like, I would definitely put quality up there with the likes of Urban Decay. They surpass MAC, full stop. I have no problem in saying that. But definitely they're well up there with the likes of Urban Decay, Sleek, the whole lot. And for the money, you can't really go wrong. The last, or I have another one from me. Now I'm not, people will probably go, that's not a palette, but to me it's got 4 colours in it. It's a little palette to me. But it's one of their Extreme Metallics, and this one's in Glammed Up. It's got 4 colours in it, to be fair. It's like a mini palette. I have another one of these, I think it's in Celebrity, and these are just brilliant. This black, I know I rave about the black in Elf's Drama Quad. This black, wait till I show you. I'm just barely even going to, just pressing my finger in, rubbing it down a teeny weeny bit. Oh, it's got a teeny bit of sparkle in it. But these are just going to be, I think this is just going to be gorgeous for over Christmas. For popping in your handbag, because you know, I mean, days are long over Christmas, so you will be reapplying your makeup. There are the 4 colours in that one. So you get a beautiful black, you get a gorgeous silver, a fabulous pink, and a fabulous gold. I just think that is such a pretty palette. Like that's, I've swatched that and I bet you I'll get every bit as good again. Like look. I don't know, I don't think you can beat that. Even if it is just for throwing in your handbag when you're going out. I just think the pigmentation on them, the quality and everything is amazing. So yeah, they're a definite must have. The next two are again from the same company as well. They're both from Sleek. The first one is their Bad Girl palette. Now I have to point out, I love dark eyes for winter. So a lot of these, if you're not into kind of the really dark eyes, you might be into these, but I love them so. This is Bad Girl, and it is extremely dark. You've got greys, blacks, deep purples, like a plummy purple, navies, dark greens and 2 highlights. And again with Sleek palettes, pigmentation is crazy on them. Bit barely touching them. And oh Jesus, they're mental. That's barely touching them. And then the other one I have from Sleek, they're crazy buttery as well, and so easy to work with too. The next one then is a Storm palette. And again, this is, I know a lot of people say this is great for neutrals, but, and it is neutrals, but they're very dark neutrals. Because like if you compare it to the MUA Heaven and Earth palette, to my mind, this is a neutral palette. This is way darker than neutral, but that's just me. So yeah, it does have a lovely row of, these are what I would class as neutrals. Then you've got your darker shades if you want to bring it up a notch when you're out at night. So I suppose it's handy that way. That's it. So I'll just swatch a few for you. That's the look. And that's the swatch, like, again, mental pigmentation. But the only other thing I do find with Sleek is that their colours overlap in their palettes. So there's a few in the Storm palette that are well they're nearly identical to the ones in the Bad Girl palette. That's the only thing I'll say about it. But at the same time, you're getting a different mix, I suppose. So if you weren't collecting the palettes, you wouldn't really mind. If you only had one off. And then my last three palettes are individual brands, so I'll just crack through them really quick. This one is in NYX or NYX, and it's one of the Runway collection, and this one is in Casting Call. This has been through the mill. It's got two big cracked shadows there. Again, if you're not into dark eyes, you won't be into this. But it's the perfect mix for doing smoky eyes over the winter. And again, pigmentation wise, excellent. These are also very creamy, easy to blend and work with. And as you can see, pigmentation wise, beautiful. It's a big thing for me. I hate putting an eyeshadow on and then realising you have to go over it and over and over and over it again before you get any colour or payoff. And that's the way I find with MAC. I know it's probably because they are for makeup artists or whatever and you're supposed to build it up, but if you're in a rush in the morning, you don't want to be building and building. So that's why I'm not really fussed with MAC. This one is fairly recent. I got this and I love this. This is perfect kind of purpley, bluey, smoky eye in a palette. But the other thing I love about this, and I can't wait to get to a Superdrug, is it can be refilled. So if you don't like these particular colours, you can go in and customise your own little palette. And it is the Fashionista custom palette. And I have these colours. What are they called? This is Silver Lining. This is Blue Eyes. This one is Deep Ocean. And this one is Midnight Blue. These are really beautiful colours. And if these aren't your colours, you could go and pick for purples, for greens, for neutral colours, whatever takes your fancy, but they are well worth the money. And I can't wait to get up to Superdrug. I'm going to get a few different refills because you can keep the originals come in their own little, like just like an eyeshadow case, and you just pop them out. So like they're never going to get too, like, even taking that off is really impossible. They're never going to get damaged or anything, do you know? So I'm definitely going to have to get myself to a Superdrug some way. Beg, steal or borrow. And then the last palette I have, and this is something that I think is, it's not spoken about, I don't think, in the beauty world that much. I've never seen, I know I've done a review on it, but I don't know, I've never seen reviews on it. You don't hear much about them. But and to be fair, when I got it I was like, then it sat in my drawer for a little while. But then when I started using it, I think it was on a makeup ban at the time, so I was trying to use what I had. when I started using it, I fell in love with it. And it's one of the e.l.f. Beauty Encyclopedias for your eyes. And I have it in the shade Basic Eye Edition. And I just think it's crazy that these aren't spoken. I don't think they get enough credit because these are mentally pigmented as well. Totally swatched them with the wrong hand, but there you go. So yeah, if you're considering getting one of these, I would get it, definitely. I'm even considering getting different ones, so like, it's very pigmented. So yeah, they're my favourite palettes for winter. As I say, I will do blog posts and everything anyway, so if you want better swatches or whatever, head over to the blog. My next one is lipsticks, and then I'm finished. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see the next one, and thanks for watching.